It started in small-town America in rural Southern Virginia.
He grew up on a farm, and he came from nothing.
His love affair with cars began at a young age.
Working with cars in any aspect was a dream of his.
One car dealership blossomed into an automotive giant.
He's obviously quite an entrepreneur, and that started at an early age.
Then came the racing and championships, lots of them.
He's always done what he loved.
But through all the success, an ability to stay humble and true to his small-town roots.
With Mr. Hendrick, it's all about the people.
I feel like everywhere he goes, he makes a difference in whatever he does.
Making a difference by giving back to the community with a servant's heart.
He just seems to have such a great balance on life.
Rick Hendrick was born in 1949, growing up in the tiny town of Palmer Springs, Virginia. At 14, he began drag racing in a self-built 1931 Chevy.
The guys that he knew raced cars on the street, more like Dukes of Hazzard. Cars and racing cars was part of the culture.
At 26, he became the youngest Chevy dealer in the United States. At 29, Hendrick moved to Charlotte, where he purchased City Chevrolet.
That one store turns into 5 stores, and then eventually turns into 100+ stores.
Today, Hendrick Automotive is the largest privately held dealership group in the country, with more than 100 dealerships across 14 states. The company employs more than 10,000 people, generating a company record $8.4 billion in revenue in 2015. Selling cars was one thing, but racing them was always Rick's passion. In the mid-'80s, he launched Hendrick Motorsports. His drivers have combined to win a dozen championships in NASCAR's top series, including 4 by Jeff Gordon, and as of last week, a record-tying 7 by Jimmy Johnson.
Rick believes that life is really a people business, not a car business, not a racing business, but a people business.
Talk to those who know Rick, and they'll tell you his accomplishments are great, but it's the person he is that really makes him special.
He had so much respect for his mother and his father, and it was obvious that he was raised in a way that, in a small town living on a farm, that you gave back. It was a mindset. It was a belief system.
After being diagnosed with leukemia in 1996, Rick formed the Hendrick Marrow Program. Since then, he's given millions to charities, including Together We Feed, Be the Match, Levine Children's Hospital, Drive to End Hunger, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, Nazareth Children's Home, and the Charlotte Observer Summer Camp Fund.
A few years ago, there was a shortfall in funding the Charlotte-Mecklenburg school system where sports was going to be cut out of middle schools. He made a $250,000 donation that went with an anonymous donation to keep middle school sports alive.
That's more important to us than winning trophies and selling cars. Is to be able to help those in need.
Shortly after son Ricky, brother John, and several team members were killed in a 2004 plane crash, the Hendricks donated $3 million to help start Levine Children's Hospital. Their donation went to the Pediatric Intensive Care Unit, a place where the sickest of the sick come for care.
And so now children that are born in this community or in our region, and frankly now we're starting to see children from across the country come to us and choose us for their care. They don't need to go anywhere else.
Ongoing donations by the Hendricks to Levines have totaled more than $4.5 million.
So our contribution goes far beyond the floor and the unit, but it steps into people's lives personally, and it personally helps them and personally changes and saves lives. So we're thrilled to be a part of it. You can't put a dollar on a child's life.
And no dollar amount or award can sum up what Rick Hendrick means to our community.
Thank you. Thank you, David. I'm going to have to say something about this guy right here. First of all, I'm honored and humbled to be here tonight to receive this award from a city that's meant so much to me and my family. But I had the honor of going to this guy's retirement party not too long ago, and I've never been to a retirement party where everybody that got up to speak cried. I hope that when I retire one day, David, that everybody cries. So you're a special individual, and thank you so much for that intro tonight. Thank you, sir. Well, it's an honor for me to be here. And first of all, they told me there was no teleprompters. So it's a good thing I'm a car salesman because I'm going to wing it. And I didn't know we had so many elected officials, and thank you for all you do Thank you for all of the people that in the chamber that volunteer your time to build our city. You know, Linda and I have been married 44 years in January, and we came to Charlotte, like David said, and I came into 77, she came in 78, and we had a dream that we were going to just have a dealership, and I moved from Bennettsville, South Carolina. Mr. McCall and I both share in that. I didn't grow up in Bennettsville. I grew up in a little town in Virginia. And I remember coming to Charlotte, and I had a pinstripe suit, a white shirt. I was 28 years old, and I wore a red tie because I'd lied about my age. I told everybody I was 30 because I had to go into the bank and tried to borrow money. And I remember the first bank I went to here in Charlotte, the banker said, son, you came to Charlotte from Bennettsville, South Carolina. Do you think you can make it in a city as big as Charlotte? And I said, yes, sir. I was in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is a pretty big city, and I ran a dealership there, and I said, I hope I can make it. I've got a great opportunity because Chevrolet promised me if I was recruited to go to Bennettsville. Linda and I sold everything we had, moved to Bennettsville, and that was a success. And Chevrolet said, if you can do that, we'll see that you get a big one, a bigger opportunity. So 18 months, 3 days, 6 hours later, we got the call, and we got to Charlotte. And Lynn was just a little baby, and Ricky was born here. And I remember when there was just a couple of restaurants here, and you knew everybody in town. And, you know, city was just a blessing for us. It was a launching pad for our company. And I'm proud to say that of our 11,000 employees and teammates now, 5,000 of them are in the Carolinas. So we're a big part of the Carolinas. We love it here. It's been good to us. And we never dreamed that it would grow to what it is today. But and the video says it, it's all about the people, our teammates. We've been so blessed. I'm so proud of our daughter that's sitting here tonight. She started together, we feed. She started reading at a school here in Charlotte. She came to us and said, Dad, you won't believe it. These kids are so poor. They don't have shoes. They don't have coats. And so at Christmas, we did 7,000 jackets and sweatshirts and tennis shoes. And then I'm so proud of our teammates. Our dealerships now have adopted, I think, 15 schools. And through her efforts, I think they've given out 1.3 million pounds of food. Ed Brown, our president and CEO of the automotive group, at Thanksgiving here just a few days ago, took turkeys and delivered enough food to feed 4,000 people. So growing up on the farm, we didn't know what we didn't have, but my mom and dad taught us that you had to share, you had to depend on each other in order to survive. And that's something that Linda has done with our children, and she has a prison ministry that she volunteers her time to go to the prisons and talk to the ladies to give them hope. So we haven't forgotten our roots. We love the people that work with us every day. We never forgot where we came from, and we've been so blessed. Our automotive deal started with 5 people. The racing deal started with 5 people, and it's hard for us to believe that we're going to Las Vegas tomorrow to celebrate our 12th championship. We don't take that for granted. God has really blessed our organization. And we've been so blessed to live in Charlotte, which is such a great community. And I'm so proud of the Chamber for all the great things that you do. And we want to be great citizens. I see Mr. Tarwater sitting here, that the Levine's Children's Hospital, I remember when it was a dream. And I can think of just hundreds of kids that lives have been saved, transplants for infants. Now, we don't have to go to Houston to have doctors provide the best medical help. It's right here in Charlotte. And all the great things that you folks, the business people of Charlotte, have put your hard-earned time, effort, and money into making this city world-class. I remember when the Hornets came to town, and Felix and George and Cy Bahakel and I were sitting in the arena with tuxedos on, and we walked out back and saw the TV trucks. And I thought, man, we have arrived. We got ESPN right here in Charlotte. And then when Jerry Richardson, Hugh McCall, if you could dream it, Hugh McCall can make it happen. I'll tell you, when the Panthers came to town, it really was another brick of putting us into a world-class city. But the thing that touches me, we've got a lot left to do. When you see these hungry children that are in these schools right here in our city that don't have a place to stay, that are living in shelters, we've got a lot left to do. And it's hard for us to sit down at Christmas and at Thanksgiving and have a meal when we think about the folks right here that are hungry. And we're committed as an organization and a family to do something about it. But I thank you for this honor tonight, and I accept it on behalf of all of our teammates, because they're the ones that make it happen. God has really blessed us. God has really blessed this city. And if we keep all that in perspective, there's nothing that can stop us. And Andrea, together, we can accomplish more. And I'm proud to be a Charlottean. I think Linda and I have lived here longer than anywhere else. So I do appreciate this. Thank you for this tremendous honor. God bless you and have a great holiday.